Hello guys, I'm Super Ron, welcome back to the channel, and we're back at Auto Shack and back on the Caddy project. For the last few months you've been watching us create this amazing show car, and now we are at the finishing touches. We've got the engine conversion all in, but to get it running I used the original Audi TT downpipe, had to cut and shut it to avoid the steering rack, and that just came out as a screamer pipe on the floor. It did sound pretty cool with the turbo whistling. But now we've got everything bolted on, all the suspension finished, it's time for it to get its proper exhaust. So it's now going to go off to our friend Jack at Motion Fabrication. He makes all our exhausts for our project, so this will be back in a week. But for you, that is right now. And let's have a look at this new exhaust. So it's got a 2-inch system all the way through. Everything is perfectly TIG welded together. We've got one nice big box here. It goes off to a slash cut finish. So that's nice and discreet and hiding underneath. It's kept up nice and high over the beam, so when it's aired out, that'll clear all that. And then going forwards, we've got a 2.5-inch downpipe, and he did get rid of my custom downpipe and replaced it with this. Got a little flexi that goes all the way to the back. Really, really nice, well thought out system, clears everything and is serviceable. So we are happy with that. All the hangers really nicely tigged on, all going to the factory points. Factory there. And at the back there as well. That is looking beautiful. Right, let's get on with some actual work now. One question that is asked on nearly every video is, with the flush bay, where have we put the battery? On a normal show car, we just put it in the boot, it's hidden away, job done. On this, we haven't got a boot. And so far, we haven't had a battery. Every time you've ever seen power on this, seen it move, seen lights work, it's just been on the jump pack. So today, that is all going to change. We have had our delivery from Rally Design. So I've placed an order for all the battery bits we need. Oh, and a washer bottle for the windscreen washers. We can put that somewhere discreet. We've got our battery bracket from Varley for our new battery. This is the Varley red top racing battery. So they are a nice small compact battery, but these are actually 40 amp hours and 500 cranking amps. So this will sit under the seat, nice and discreet, but still have the power to run the car. And because we're putting it under the seat, we've also got our remote jump points, and we've got a little kill switch to go in as well. So we're going to start on the battery. So we've got the Valeo red top, 40 amp hours, 500 amps cold cranking, and these are completely sealed. So these can go inside the car, they can go any way up. They're nice and slim. This is one of the bigger ones. On a show car before, we used 2 of the small little batteries, 1 in each door pocket. But for this one, I'm going to put it under the seat. So whip the seat back out, and I was a bit worried when this came because this is quite a bit bigger than the battery, but it's also supplied with foam, so you pack it all out with foam, and that just saves the vibration on the battery. So I've marked it out, put some riv nuts in, and that sits in there. So when the runners are on, that doesn't catch it at all. So I'll line up the riv nut and get the battery in, and then that'll be a to and from point, because we've got our kill switch, we've got our jump start points. These are the same as what I put in the front of my RS6. So I'm not sure whether we're going to put them in the side down here, or somewhere in the glove box, or even somewhere down here, just somewhere tucked out the way, because we're not going to be able to get to the battery once the seat is back in. As you can see from the other seat there, there's not going to be room to tuck in. So we've got the remote point, it could go at the front. We'll figure that out. First, we need our start point. And in. So there it is, nicely tucked away. The terminals are here at the bottom, so they are accessible, but to save anything rolling into them, we have got some boots to go over. So negative will be this side, so the boots will cover it in case anything does roll in. So they'll be nice and shielded. I didn't put it the other way up because that would put the terminal right next to that bar. Even with the covers, that's a bit too close for comfort for me. So that is in there looking good and nice and solid. Shame to hide that away. So we'll get our wires run here, and for the other side we've got this Alpine sub and amp. So this side will be the sub and amp. So we've got this Alpine 8-inch compact sub and amp package, nicely self-contained. The amp is in the end, so it just needs the connections and the phono leads to go in there. We're going to put this right under the seat here, tucked away. So just put some rib nuts in, drilled through the carpet, and all bolted in. So now let's start running some wires. There it is, all wired in. Got the power wires go around this side, got the phono leads go around that side. They'll run under the carpet and up to the head unit. So now let's get the main battery wires in and get power to this thing. And as easy as that in YouTube world, we are fully wired in, but I have been a busy boy. Not only with the work, but there's been a lot of thought gotten into this. We have to work out what the best way to route the wires, where they're going to go from, where they're going to go to. For instance, you saw I've got the washer bottle in now for the windscreen washer jet. It's going to be behind the seat, and the seats do fold forwards, but it's still going to be a bit awkward trying to fill that up. So what I've done, I've linked the loom and the pipe together, so you can put the seat forwards and this slides off. So you can fill it up and then slot it back on. So it's nice and easy, just to slide off. It's got its slider fixed there, and this will just sit behind the seat. You'll also be able to see this from the driver's seat, so you can see if it's empty or not. We've got all the airlift, loom all in. You saw the amps all wired in. The electric seats are now all wired in as well, so they're all got their plugs ready. The battery is here, and now that is fully wired in as well. I make all the power leads from scratch. We've got 25mm squared power battery wires in red and black. So I make all the looms. We hold all the terminals we need to make them up and crimp them up, because on the battery itself, it has tiny little M6 bolt on that race battery. And then the kill switches and bit are 8mm. And then we just heat shrink with whatever we need. So it's really handy having everything in stock. We can just get on with it. The problem is going to be, if this ever gets flat, you'd have to take the whole seat, runners, everything out to access the terminal. So that's why we put our little jump points in, made up this little plate at the front. And then if it ever does go flat, you've got these jump points, just like I put in my RS6 at the front, exposed. When the seat's in there, the seat kind of finishes about here. So all of that isn't going to get kicked. It's not going to get damaged. It's not going to have things thrown into it. So you can just slide the seat back, expose these, and you can just put your jump leads or jump pack onto that. So let me show you the journey of the electricity. So we've got our terminals at the back, the positives on this side, and we've got our boot on. That comes around, and then that goes into the back of our jump point. And then out of the jump point, that comes around, up, secured, and then goes into the back here, which is a kill switch in the glove box. It'll be handy just as a little bit of added security, except obviously for everyone watching this video. But also, if it's left for a long period of time, you can just lock off the battery. And because the jump points are still connected, he could put a trickle charger on that if he wanted, but still isolate the car. Then that comes out of there, down into our junction box there, which goes forward to the starter and all the other bits. So that's got a nice little door that closes, protects it. On the pegs on the back here, we've got little covers to go on them. And our battery here is nice and protected with its boot. So I am happy with that. That's a nice, tidy, neat install, and no one's going to know it's there. So if we put the isolator on, this is the first time I've tried this battery, so hopefully it's got some charge in, ignition on. We've got power. Let's see if we've got squirters. We have. Not very good wiper blades, but we have got squirters. So everything works. Let's see if it'll start. Fired up. First time without a jump pack. So all I've got left now to do is wire in the stereo. All our wires are here waiting. Right, that's the stereo all wired in. So we've got our modern ISO connectors for the speakers and power, and that goes into the Mk1 wiring. We've got our ignition live, main power, earth, illumination, turn on the amp as well. Got our phono leads for the amp. Also got our DAB radio, which is a little sticker that goes in the windscreen, which is nice and discreet. And then we've got our microphone up there for hands-free calling. And then we've also got a dash cam in now as well that the customer wanted installed. So if we turn on our ignition, dash cam ready. Right, let's plug the stereo in and see if that fires up the amp. And here is our favourite that we fit to all our retro cars, the Blaupunkt. It looks like an old school 90s head unit, but it is in fact full DAB. So it'll be nice and easy to connect to. Let's get that in next. The other thing you might notice is we've got some nice black carpets at the back now, and we have in fact got a full set because the ones that were in the Caddy were pretty grotty. So here's the old carpet out of the Caddy. I'm not convinced this is the original from the Caddy. I think this is a Mk1 Golf one that has been cut down because the back line hasn't been cut very nice. So I suspect that it's out of a Mk1 tin top and they've just cut the back off where the Caddy stops. But it was in pretty rough state. It was blue, it was dirty, all the sound deadening and everything was just falling apart. So by a stroke of luck, the owner of the Caddy was looking for a new floor and he found a great company just down the road from him called Tech Autos. They reproduce new carpets and underlay. So it's a bit crumpled up because it's been waiting to go in. But you can see it's all formed for the shape of the tunnel. Got the foot mats. Got the sill trims, got the A-pillar trims, the sill covers. Obviously we put the back half in already. And you got a full underlay set also. So this will go down first. And this will supply a little bit of cushioning and sound deadening as well. So all the bits are matched to their underlays and top carpets. So we'll get that in and that's going to look a lot better. So I think this is this side. They're all pre-cut. Just got to spray glue these onto the side, but they look very nice. Really does finish this off. After seeing it just in bare white for so long, it's nice to have some trimming. Then we've got the ones for the corners, and that big bit will go through the middle here. And we have got the seats back to go in as well. So right back in the very first episode, it did come with some Porsche tombstones in some, I can't even remember, I think they were grotty white material or maybe half leather, but they have been fully retrimmed and look amazing with the modern GTI tartan. Can't wait to get these in. But before this, I've took the old subframe out because this needs some work. Not exactly fit for purpose. I think if you have a crash in these, that would just peel it off. Also, they mount here, which is actually lower, so the rail mounts on here, but it bolts through here, so it actually dishes the rail down. So these are gonna require a few mods. I think that must have been the first one they made, because then they moved to big box section, and this one is absolutely fine. Thick box, the bolts go all the way through, but this one needs a little bit of work. See, it's not even connected at the back there. And because the seat belts are bolted to the seat, there would be nothing holding you down. So I'll get super on fab skills on that to make a vast improvement. And that's all the green in. That all fits in really nice. I've covered the loom up nicely on that side. Just had to give it a little trim here and there. It was a bit puffy in the middle, so I've just sliced down the middle there to make that flat. But that's nice and soft. That'll make the carpet feel a bit nicer and be the sound insulation as well. So it goes right up to the bulkhead under there, all along the sides. Just had to cut out the bits like the seat belt and the gear stick. So now we can put the proper trims in. So I'll stick the sides on, the fronts on, and this just kind of sits in over the top. So I just need to find where the gear stick hole is, cut that out, and this can go in as well. Spray glue on the back. Nice. Right, let's do the rest. And there's the other side all in. Just have to trim it up around a few bits. Like on this side we've got our drive-by-wire throttle pedal, so I just had to do a little trim. This has come out really nice. Over here, even with this loom, that has covered that up perfectly. And I've just snipped it around the brake pressure regulator for the rear brake. So I'm super happy with that. Let's get this front in. And with a bit of trimming, we are all in and looking amazing. The carpet fits really nice. The way it's shaped really does fit nice. Even with our loom down this side, that is now all hidden under this carpet. So it fits all nicely all the way along. Just had to do a little bit of trimming here and there. Cut the hole out for the gear stick. But I wasn't sure how it was going to cover this up, all the reinforcement round, but it fits perfectly. Just had to chop it where the seats come out, but that'll be hidden underneath anyway. It just fits really nice where all the beading is. All this lines up nice. So when the seats are in, you won't see anything. Got all our jump packs all in and ready. I've just put some little caps on the back of the nut there. They're just wheel nut covers. So I'll stick them on because obviously this from the back straight to the battery. So if anything ever falls down, you don't want it touching that. We've got our screen wash bottle and the extension. So this come out to be filled and then slot straight back in. We've got our adjustment for the rear brake bias there. So that's just sticking out of the carpet nice. So that'll just need to be set up on the rollers and then that won't need to be touched again. Got everything cut out for the seat belts, but it just all fits in there. Really, really nice. Even where all our loom is under here, it's just disappeared. And then if we ever do need to get to it, you can just peel that back. We've got our main power there. Got the dash all in, got the radio in. A few more bits to tidy up. I am very happy with that. So wiring wise, we are now all finished. The car has an ignition key, which actually turns things on. It's got the washer jets now. Everything is here ready to pass the MOT. Carpets are in, looking perfect. So I think I'm probably gonna wrap this episode up here. Everything is now wired in. We actually have an ignition key that will start the car. I've been doing lots of testing with this battery for the radio, for all the ignition lights, for the dash cam, and the battery is held up nicely, starts every time, so we're not gonna have any trouble with that. And it's nice and discreet, tucked under the seat. I've had the stereo playing with the sub, and it is way louder than I was expecting. We've got our little door speakers to go in, but this thing shakes the whole car. So that is a nice little addition. We've got all our plugs in for our electric seat. I think now literally every single thing is wired. And I'm really happy at how this has finished off. Getting a carpet in has been the finishing touches to this interior. It's transformed it just from a dirty old shell to a really nice plush interior. The carpet's fitted great, the way it sculpts around everywhere. Really great design. All the underlay makes it feel a lot nicer. I'll put the link below for Tech Auto's website. They don't only do caddies, looks like they've got patterns for hundreds of cars. So I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up here. We've got the Porsche seats still to go in, which you've seen, we've just got them back from the retrimmers. But the subframes they're on are gonna need a little bit of work. They're not up to super on standards. I'm not sure I'd wanna trust them with my life. So I'm gonna do a few mods with them. We've got the Porsche seats, we've got some Porsche door handles, we've got a Porsche steering wheel, we've got new seat belts. So that is all gonna be in the next episode. If you're only just finding the Caddy build today, we've got a full playlist. This is now episode 24. So you've got a whole week to catch up on progress and you'll be fresh and ready for all the new Porsche bits going in. We've got the Caddy Crew merch, which is all available in the description below. So I'll see you in the next episode. But until then, make sure you have fun.